Are SPACs going to be coming back? I know the markets are wild and it's mostly fear and blood, but I'm telling you, once we get back on an upward trajectory, whenever that is, I don't think it'll be that long, especially with Trump in office. Get ready. SPACs might be coming back. SPAC warrants might be coming back. Let's go.
Everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives because what you're doing is wrong.
First, President Trump criticized Joe Biden and Barack Obama to their face during his inauguration at the Rotunda. Now he blasts the Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan, accusing the financial giant of debanking conservatives right there to his face in Davos. My next guest co-founded a bank, Old Glory Bank, to fight what he called the woke banking industry. He is country music star John Rich, and he joins me now. Hey, John. President Trump criticizing some of these banks now for not representing all of America. Bank of America pushed back, John. They put out a tweet. Here's what they put up. They said, Bank of America serves 70 million clients. We welcome conservatives. We'd never close accounts for political reasons and don't have a political litmus test. Now, we should point out together, John, that was community noted. First, they turned off the comments on X. Then it was community noted. And then you heard from a bunch of people like Eric Prince, former Navy SEAL Eric Prince, the founder of Blackwater, who's like, well, that's not true. You debanked me at Bank of America.
Yeah. Congratulations. Bank of America loves you so much that they turn off their comments because they don't want to hear from you. Just keep doing your banking there. That just want to keep your money. That's real classy, guys. So Old Glory Bank is an option that has been built. Myself, Dr. Ben Carson, Larry Elder, and some real patriots from the banking industry who stepped away from that woke nonsense. We all got together a few years ago and said, we have got to have an option to these big woke banks because what's going to stop them from turning off all of our accounts like Justin Trudeau did back when he broke up the trucker strike? He killed their accounts. That's how he did it. And so we founded Old Glory Bank. It takes about 8 minutes to sign up at oldglorybank.com. We welcome our first responders and veterans. We actually have a $100,000 life insurance policy that costs nothing if you're a veteran or active duty service member or first responder. I mean, this is a whole different attitude of a bank, and it's needed. Listen, I mean, right. Trump did it. He called it out. Thank God. I'm glad he was paying attention to this point. It's been going on for a very long time, and it's time we end it.
Okay, so that is just a clip of John Rich, who is a part of Old Glory Bank. And so I want to get ahead of the curve again. I know we're in a down cycle, a sell-off type of environment right now. So everyone is freaking out and everyone is losing their minds and everyone doesn't know what to do right now. Sometimes when things are going on in the markets, I think you begin to see, specifically in SPACs, what the sub-markets are that are going to likely explode. So Old Glory Bank is, as you heard from that bit of a testimony from John Rich there, they're sort of undermining of big banks that's been going on for quite some time, obviously with crypto, and I know crypto's crashing right now. They're with the decentralization, with digital Asset Acquisition Corporation here. And so you see, here's the announcement. Old Glory Bank is coming public via a SPAC, which is a special purpose acquisition corporation, blank check company. It's a way to sort of backdoor a company coming public a little bit faster, not the typical IPO style. And so they're going public, and ticker symbol is DAAQ. Second quarter 26. This is going to be, I think, one of a handful of banks that are going public that are going to be more of a national bank that also offers crypto. It's not currently live yet. They say they're really close to having a crypto platform live. And so you can see some of the board members. You got Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson. You got Sean Spicer, Larry Elder. So this is a conservative, stick it to the old guard, but still kind of the old guard type of deal here. But it's just playing on the Trump nationalism, everything that surrounds that whole type of movement, which, listen, I'm not here to pick sides or say what side I'm on or any of that. I'm on Jesus' side, as you've heard my testimony and story. So King Jesus is, if whatever Jesus is about, that's what I'm about. And you can see, and here's John Rich. So putting heroes first. It's all the punchlines. It's all the America, patriotism, get away from wokeness. So that's sort of what it's essentially SoFi 2.0. They just are taking a little bit different route. So I'm gonna pull up their investor slide deck. Because SoFi is just more of a generic. We're just an online bank, and we offer all the services. Then they introduced crypto, the first national bank that offered a crypto platform that was just a traditional style bank, even though it's all online. So Old Glory Bank is also going to do that, a DeFi economy. So they're going to support crypto and decentralized blockchain transactions. I mean, and some are speculating that Trump is looking to essentially tear down central banks and that whole infrastructure and enter into a new age, a new economy, a new way of banking. There's going to be, it's a pretty big divide, but there's enough of a divide that are pro-Trump and that are super, almost cultish nationalists, patriotism, America first nationalists, that they get a hold of something like this, that there's a bank that is basically that's saying the old big banks and saying, nah, you guys have sold out to DEI and you've sold out to all of the woke trends, and then I have really had no options before. Now I've got options to bank with a bank like this that also supports my views, right? So there's enough people in America where something like this could really catch some momentum. It's kind of difficult to find the investor slide deck. You really have to dig deep for it. Super interesting. And I was looking over some of the SEC filings as I was looking for the slide deck. The very detailed, one to watch for sure. And that's why I wanted to make this video. I actually did a search on YouTube. I figured there would be a couple people that had made some videos. There was one guy who was just very, I guess you'd say, sort of your standard typical old style, someone who's a wealth manager who was just reading like the SEC filings and just kind of mundane, typical retail investors like you and me wouldn't really understood well much of what he was talking about. I mean, I understand, but it was just, not video worthy, I guess, for YouTube. So, but anyway, here you go. So the combination is expected to be funded and by a combination of the SPAC's cash and trust and the expected proceeds from a pipe, resulting in $207 million net cash on the balance sheet at closing. So a lot of cash on hand at closing. And so again, they're playing on the fact that they're looking to a method of debanking, basically leaving big banks. Their CEO or one of their executives gets on social media and just rails on big banks. Here's the lineup. You got Ben Carson, a governor of Oklahoma, two-term former governor of Oklahoma. She was a lieutenant governor. She was a former congresswoman. Of course, Ben Carson, former presidential candidate, HUD secretary, neurosurgeon. Larry Elder, and he's got a national talk and radio show. Sean Spicer, former White House Secretary, Navy Reserve Captain. Joseph Meade, he had 40 years with the FDIC. Other than John Rich, who's just a country music star, who's pretty opinionated. I mean, these other guys, look, this is the former co-president of Fox News. These are just the kind of guys I don't think they're really going to get involved with something that is destined to fail, or some of these, obviously we went through an era where SPACs, a lot of companies were just kind of sliding through and going public via a SPAC just because it was kind of easy to do. I feel like they've tightened up on it. Quite a few companies that, even some of the ones I was covering, that turned out to be a bit fraudulent. They've locked down on a lot of that. The SEC has, lots of lawsuits have been filed. I've been, some of the companies I had even just day trading or swing trading into, I got securities lawsuits where I could be a part of it. and get some type of retribution for just investing in the company, just a little bit of money. So I feel like a lot of these new companies that are coming public via SPAC, the risk level is still high. It's still high risk in SPACs. You know, these are companies that maybe not quite ready to go public. If they are, they're just trying to circumvent it and go through faster. So just be careful and know that this is not financial advice. I'm just talking about some opportunities. So they have one physical branch in Elmore City, Oklahoma. That's the bank that started as Old Glory Bank. And then in April 23, they launched their online platform, their online banking platform. And they grew it from 0 accounts to 79,000 accounts in 2 years. And they grew the online, the business side of it, the commercial side, from 0 to 4,000 deposit accounts in that same amount of time. And look, the deposits grew from 10 million in April of 23 to 247 million in deposits by 2025. And because it's an online bank with very little overhead, doesn't cost a whole lot to operate this type of business. Here's the financial highlights. And look, and this is the other thing I've been noticing as I've been diving back into researching companies that are looking to go public via SPAC. They're not like looking out and saying, we're going to have 1,000% revenue growth and all this forward projection. It's like, no, this is how the company has grown looking backwards. And here you go. See, so it shows, you know, in 23, 11 million up to 247 million. You can see it's just a steady growth of account growth and deposits. Some ways that they make money through debit card spending. You can see that they're it's continually increasing. And then it goes and shows some of the suite of online banking tools that they have. Free accounts, no fee overdrafts, bill pay, you know, standard stuff that most have. But I mean, it's nothing crazy. I'm not saying it's nothing that is not reproducible. It's just, again, we're playing on the platform of America, DBank. You can be right thinking, conservative, and not and say what you want to say, and freedom of speech. This is huge, right? This is the one thing I really wanted to focus in on, because looking back over Sofi, which has grown just exponentially. I mean, Sofi right now down like it is. I personally believe Sofi is going to be a great buy and a great long-term investment. They just hit like $1 billion in a quarter in revenue. But one of the issues with Sofi is that because it is only online, reading some of the complaints on Reddit about Sofi was that you basically still had to have like either a community bank, or you had to have a big bank account if you wanted to actually deposit physical cash or physical checks and then move them over into Sofi. Or you had to have direct deposit to Sofi. Well, here you go. Check this out. Old Glory, they have cash in. Deposit cash at 88,000 retail locations. And this removes the friction of online banking. This is the one thing Sofi hasn't solved. So here with this Old Glory, you can go to retail locations and you can deposit cash or checks, and they go into your Old Glory bank account. So Old Glory Bank doesn't have brick and mortar stores, but they have 88,000 plus locations where you can make deposits. And you can obviously still do direct deposit with Old Glory. But this right here, I think, is one of the reasons I'm so kind of bullish on the company and what they're trying to do. And they're going to have like a Old Glory Pay, kind of like a Cash App type thing or something. Home loans are coming, which revenue would skyrocket when they get this going. So I don't know if this is already active, if they're already doing mortgages, but if they do that, I mean, revenue will go parabolic with that. Specialty products for veterans and first responders. And then here you go. And it's like I said, if I were to say, what is the biggest risk with it? Like if this crypto platform did not pan out and they did not get it live, this will be the thing to be watching that could set them back. Because it's planned, it's not live. Customers that bank with Old Glory, pretty engaged. Lots of debit card spending. $1.5 billion in customer transaction, growing. And the transaction overview, as you can see, they've got a equity value of the company at $530 million, enterprise value of $316. The transaction structure includes a targeted $50 million raise from PIPE investors. OGB will be the ticker symbol as when and if everything goes through. Those shareholders are going to roll $250 million into the company, which kind of shows the fact that they're going to roll their shares over into the company is a sign of confidence. So it's expected to close in Q2 of 2026. I've bought, I think right now this is my biggest position in warrants. So it's DAAQW, the warrants right now. Again, you look at the valuation, $530 million. Wanted to show this. This is Sofi when over the course of time. This is the warrants for Sofi. And you can see the lowest they ever were was like three and some change. I mean, but at one point they got up to $12. I know it's a whole different environment right now, but I'm telling you, so the digital acquisition warrants right now, they're only like 40-some cents. So even if it were to get to these $3 levels right here, I mean, you're looking at like 6-7x from where it is right now. If it gets up into $8, $9, $10 range for some reason, you know, because you got to understand. So a warrant is the strike price is $11.50. So if the share price goes to 20, then the warrants are essentially valued 20 minus 11.50, so 8.50 is what that's kind of, they move along in that range, whatever the share price is minus 11.50. So I mean, if the warrants hit $7-8 and they're at 40 cents now, you do the math. This is why SPAC investing, like if you really just focused on this and you just picked 10 SPACs that had decently priced warrants right now, and you just were like, I'm just going to ride these, and as the warrants pop, and this is what we used to do when I was running pretty hard with SPACs. Obviously it was just a crazy time, but that's how a couple people became millionaires pretty quick, just following the warrants. So not investment advice, but I wanted to highlight again Sofi. I guess I didn't have the screen over on it. This is the Sofi warrant over the course of time. Sofi's market cap's $24.6 billion right now. This Old Glory Bank's market cap's what, 500 million. You tell me if you think a company like that could not become a $3 to $5 billion company pretty easily. I live here in small town Arkansas, and there's community banks here. They're hitting hundreds of millions of dollars of deposits, and would have a market cap. They're privately owned. I've been looking into one of them. I'm hoping it maybe goes public. I'm like, because it's a great bank. It's a great community bank, and the headquarters is in the town I'm in. And so anyway, listen, this is people want to bank with people that they trust, and they don't want to put their money where they feel like people are using and abusing and not aligned with them. So this is why Old Glory Bank might really be a play over. Listen, we've got Trump in office for another 3 years, right? So there's a window here for something like this. That I know, again, the climate's bad in investing, but think about it. Wanted to make a video. I'm back, guys. JMac Life Investments back at you. Blessings and deuces. I'm out.